start chapter 2 now on percent, decimal, fractions, ratios. So somebody remind us, how do we change from a percent to a decimal? How do we go from percent to a decimal?
Yeah. Basically divide like a percent by 100.
Right, you just divide by 100. Okay, because it's out of 100%. So the shortcut way is just to move that decimal place over. So 58%, move it over twice, you get 0.58. What is that as a fraction? Yep.
58 over 100, which simplifies to 29 over 50.
Good. Okay, make sure you always simplify. You can divide the top and bottom by 2. So it's just 29 over 50. And as a ratio, yeah, 29 to 50. Perfect. For ratio, we use this colon in between, and we say 2. T-O. All right, so 29 to 50. So if percent to decimal is divide by 100, how do you go from a decimal to a percent then? Yeah. Times it by 100. Okay, and so you get 12%. Okay, that is a fraction.
That's 12 over 100, which was 3 over 25.
Right, and then when you reduce it by 4, you get 3 over 25. So the ratio, whoops, 3 to 25. Sorry, my whiteout. 3 to 25. Okay, it doesn't matter which order you do these on the test. You'll need to know how to do it interchangeably. So 13 over 100 as a decimal, it's you would just divide it on your calculator. So you shouldn't need a calculator since it's over 100, but if you're not sure, 13 over 100, because that is just that division sign, that fraction, it just means divide. So 0.13. And so you know that's 13%. And as a ratio, 13 to 100. What about 4 to 5? What's that as a fraction? Yeah, Jimmy? 4 over 5. And just like what we said, how do we change that to a decimal? Alicia? You just divide it. So 4 divided by 5 on your calculator, you get 0.8. And what is 0.8 as a percent? Alicia? Sorry? 80. Okay. Now what about, let me just add in one more. What's 5% as a decimal? Joshua? 0.05. A common mistake that people do. Okay, so remember, 0.8 is 80%. 0.05 is 5%. Okay, so not 50, not 0.50. Okay. Next, evaluate 15% of 12. Whenever you see percentage in a question or word problem, you always have to convert the percent to a decimal. So we just did a whole bunch of these. So what is 15% as a decimal?
0.15.
0.15. Okay. Of means times. And then guess what? 12 means 12. So 0.15 times 12, you get 1.8. And that's your answer. So 15% of 12 means 0.15 times 12. And you get 1.8. 21 is what percent of 400? So it might sound a little weird. All it is just saying 21 divided by 400. And when you do that, 21 divided by 400, you get 0.0525. Now, is that my answer?
No.
Why not?
You have to multiply by 100.
Why?
Because it's percent.
Right, they want the percent. What you got was the decimal. So to change from a decimal to a percent, you have to times it by 100. And you get 5.25%. Okay? yes, you are allowed to have a decimal as a percentage. You don't have to have whole percentages. This is perfectly fine. Okay, so who likes shopping here? One person? Okay. Who likes sales? Yes. Okay. I love sales. Okay. 10% to me is not a sale. So anything more than 25%, that I consider a real sale. So this pair of jeans right here, you're going shopping, you need new pants. Alright. This pair of pants costs you $27.99, but it's on sale for 20% off. Okay. Calculate the sale price. So if it's on sale, does that mean you're paying more or paying less? Less, right? So when you calculate your sale price, it better be less than $27.99. Jimmy? Oh, sorry, not. Yeah, yeah.
So it's 0.8. It's 80.
Good. Okay. Did I call the wrong name? Steven, sorry. Yes, I have to go back to my cheat sheet. Okay, yes, that is the shortcut way. Okay, so do you want to just learn the shortcut? Okay, sounds good. So if it's 20% off, it means you're paying 80% of the full price. Yeah. So the easy way, that's why this is a shortcut. 20% off means you're paying 80% of the full price. So all you have to do, 80% of $27.99. Exact same question as how we did up here. So 0.80 times $27.99. And it gives you 0.8 times $27.99. I get this. Okay. What should I round it to? Joshua? 2 decimal places. So $22.39. On the test, if you write this for me, I'm going to say either bring in a penny and break it in front of me, or I'm taking half a mark off. Okay? You cannot break a penny and into 2/10 as well. So that's pretty hard. Okay? So $22.39. And then, but whatever we buy in Canada, what do we have to pay? Tax. How much? 13%. This government. After. Yeah. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we have to pay tax. 13% tax, to be specific. So, there is another shortcut. How do I calculate tax as a shortcut, Samantha?
Times 1.13.
Perfect. So if you do your sale price, $22.39, and times it by 1.13, not just 0.13, but 1.13, you'll get the total. 22.39 times 1.13, you'll get your total in one step. So $25.30. Nice and short, shortcut. Why 1.13? Where does this 1 come from? Yeah, answer?
It's the actual price plus the tax, not just the tax.
Right, the actual price. So 100% of the sale price, and then 13% on top of it. So you're multiplying 113%. That's why it's 1.13. Excellent. Okay. Oh, it's see? I counted it, and I was thinking, where did the Oh, Ryan, are you thinking of joining any sports team? That pass right there. Okay, so, but why did you just leave that extra copy on the desk? Nobody sits there. You could give it back to me instead. Thank you. Okay, so the mystery missing copy. Ryan had it. Well, Ryan, or you could just do everything twice.
I could.
Okay. When you do these questions, it's very important to check your answers, see if it makes sense. How much discount did you get off here? So if I did the long way, the 20%, so 0.2 times 27.99, it would give you $5.60. This is your discount. All right. A lot of times people do the 20% and then they get $5.60. It's too good to be true for a pair of pants that went from 28 bucks to $6. You might not want to buy it. Okay, it might be ripped unintentionally. Okay, so that way you know that okay, it may be a little too low. And then with the tax, remember you're supposed to pay a little bit more. 13% is not that much, so a little bit more than 22, 25 seems reasonable. Right, Kailash? Yeah, because you're...
That's like $2 off, like $4 off the thing.
Yeah, exactly, because 20% off, but then you add back on the 13%, so you're actually really saving only 7%.
Was that 9 or 7? Oh, it's 27.
Yeah, 27.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you're only taking away 7%, so this is a little bit less. Now that seems reasonable. That's how you know you probably, most likely, got the correct answer. Okay, and let's say you did something really wrong and you got $253. You know you made a mistake. A pair of pants cannot cost $253 unless it's in diamond, and then I don't know why you want to wear it. Okay, last thing, ratios. Okay, ratio is a comparison of two or more quantity expressed in the same unit. So that's why whenever we write ratios, we don't write units because it means the same thing. So Maple Leafs, they played 82 games last season. Let's just say they won 36, lost 35, and tied 11. How do you write this as a ratio? Okay, Ariane?
It's gonna be 36 to 35 to 11.
Right. Okay. Does the order matter?
Yes.
Yes. So if I just randomly wrote something like this in the reverse order, this will mean they won 11 and lost 35. Okay, and this is more like a Raptors record. Okay, Maple Leafs are doing much better. So, and you can't have ties in basketball, so that's why I only wrote two numbers right here. Wins to ties. Yep. Armin?
36 to 11.
36 to 11. And what about wins to the number of games played? Steven?
18 to 41.
Sorry?
36 to 82 or 18 to 41.
Good, right. Don't forget, you still have to reduce. And so you reduce this down to 18 to 41. In other words, for every 41 games played, you should have 18 wins. And so if you play 82 games in a full season, you should have 36. So this is like kind of by the All-Star game, final. Okay. Raisin Bran. Who likes Raisin Bran? The cereal. Yes, not the most favorite. Alright, so to like Raisin Bran, you have to like raisins. So in their cereal, they do 2 scoops of raisin for every 12 scoop of cereal. So if you write this as a ratio, it's 2 scoops to 12, which is 1 to 6. For every 1 scoop of raisin, you'd put 6 scoops of cereal. And if you don't write it in order, it's gonna be 6-1. Alright. If you don't write it in order, you don't want 6 scoops of raisin to 1 scoop of cereal. That means you're not eating cereal, you're eating scoops of raisins. Which is pretty gross. Okay. So if you like raisins, but then I would think you might as well just eat raisins. Alright, so remember, order does matter. And when we write ratios, we don't write the units. If we write units, we write it as a fraction. Alright, because in a fraction, that's when we can write different units, which leads us to the, let's go to page 6. Okay, since you guys lost the class yesterday, actually not lost the class, you guys wrote a test. That's why we're kind of like combining 2 lessons in one. Last little bit is just on unit rates. Okay, so if we can skip to page 6, all the way to page 6. But yes, you do have to do page 2, 3, 4, 5 after. Alright, unit rates. What's the definition of unit rate? What does unit rate mean? Philip.
The amount of something for one single.
Excellent. You told me both words. Per one. Yeah, so per or one. So it's like price for one or number of candies per children. So anything for 1 unit. So because we can't write ratios with 2 different units, we use something called unit rates, where we can write a fraction with 2 different units. So 78 kids are split into 6 groups. Do I want to know how many kids per group, or do I want to know how many groups per kid? Kids per group. Alright, it makes much more sense when you put kids into groups. Alright, that's how you know what order you should write it in. So 78 kids in 6 groups. When you divide it, 78 divided by 6, you get 13. What's my unit? 13 what? Cypher?
PG per group.
Per group. Good. Okay. So some of you, I heard it, you said 13 kids. Kids. If you just said 13 kids, sorry, half a mark off. You only gave me half the unit. Your full unit is kids per group. So whenever you do unit rates, make sure you write the full unit. Otherwise, it's half a mark off.
They will be allowed calculators on this.
You are allowed calculators, yeah. Every single test you guys do this year, you can use calculators. Even the last one that you guys had on fractions, I let you guys use calculators. Alright, let's do this one. An employee is paid $140 for 4 hours of work. Do I want to know how much they get paid per hour, or do I want to know how many hours to get $1?
Paid per hour.
How much you get paid per hour? So 140 on the top for 4 hours. Okay, when you divide that, you get 35. Ensign, what's my unit?
Dollars per hour.
Dollars per hour. Alright, we put the dollar sign in the front of the number and then per hour after. When you put the dollar sign behind, that's French. En français. We are English. In English, we put the dollar sign in the front. Yes. So Kenta, you're part French, but you didn't know it. You had the French in you.
So they made us write it like that.
Oh, so you did
And I
that.
was still writing it in English school, and then I would always get it wrong.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. Now finally somebody told you why. Okay. Also, sometimes my students ask me about the dollar because in some cases you might have the dollar sign on the bottom, but 99% of the time, money comes first. All right, as bad as it sounds, money always goes first. All right, so in math, at least in math, money comes first, so you always put it on the top.
How many decimal places do we round to?
Oh, good question. If it's a repeating decimal, just do a line on the top of the thing. And then, but in terms of money, but in money, 2 decimal places always. Okay, one last question. One last thing. Let's skip to all the way page 9. Yeah.
Just do all this problem.
Then they have to do all of this homework.
Surely not, right?
We'll see, we'll see.
I'll still do all of it anyways.
It's so fast. Like before I even started the lesson, you guys were almost done page 1 already. Alright, so let's say why I wanted to do this one. I'm just doing this last one right here. Let's say this one, this is from No Frills.
No frills.
And then this one is Metro. Actually, no. No, I like, let's say Sobe. Sobeys. Okay, who likes corn? Yeah, I like corn too. But did you know that there's no nutrition value in corn whatsoever? Yeah. Yeah. I'm breaking so many facts to you guys today. Yeah, so corn, you eat it, it doesn't digest, it just comes right back out. Okay, so there's no nutrition value, it doesn't decompose, it just, yeah, you eat it for nothing. It's like just like popcorn is coming from corn and it's just air. Yeah, so, but I still like corn. It's sweet, nice and sweet. So let's say No Frills, they sell 6 corn for $5.40. And Sobe, they sell 2 corn for $2.20. Which is the better deal, better value?
Oh, I thought you meant like in real life.
Okay, Luke.
A, because you can just go to one, well, you can kind of tell them, so you can just do the price per form for each of them.
Okay, yeah, so just like what we were talking about, unit rate, we can figure out how much is it per corn. So No Frills, we can do, money comes first, so $5.40 divided by 6 corn. How much is it per corn? Yep.
90 cents.
90 cents. Okay, so now to break another fact to you guys. If when we write cents though, we put that cent sign in the back.
Oh, hell no. But would it still make sense if you just did dollar signs?
Yes, you could do that as well. So either you could write dollar sign with 90 cents like this, or 90 cents with a cent sign in the back.
You did 9.9 cents per coin.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Break
that
that
penny and break a penny?
2.9 cents.
Oh, that's, yes. That is very true. Yes.
You pay in a tiny piece of gold that you found in the river.
Okay, so you could either write it like this or write it like this. If you write it with the cent sign, yeah, you would have to break that penny into 9 parts. So to save the confusion for Kenta, we'll just put dollar sign in the front with a 0.90. And another thing, how many lines are there in the dollar sign? There's 2.
Wait, one is American.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Alright, so Welcome to Canada. We do 2 lines with our dollar signs.
If we write one line, will you take that?
Am I that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who said yes? Okay, so for me, 1 line, 2 line, it's okay. I love you guys. I won't take marks off if you just draw that
On
1
the
line.
question, it's one line, so isn't it in American units?
It's American.
And that's how you know where I stole this page from. From an American workbook.
And 16 for $5.
Okay. And then Sobeys, you can do the same thing. $2.20 divided by 2 corn. And then you get $1.10 per corn. Now, other than using unit rate, what's another way that you can tell me that Sobeys, that No Frills has a better deal?
Just multiply the Sobeys price by 3.
Excellent. So as long as you're comparing the same amount of corn, you can compare it using unit rates, or you can compare it by timesing this by 3. When you times this by 3, you also get 6 corn, but it's going to cost you $6.60. That's also how you know that No Frills is cheaper. All right. So even though No Frills is cheaper, why might somebody go to Sobeys still? Philip.
Because they don't want to spend more money. Like they just want to eat the 2. They don't want to eat 6.
Yeah, right. So you might not want 6. You only want 2. You don't want to eat six of nothing. So you only want 2 corn. Or what else? Another reason why you might still go to Sobeys. Joshua? It's closer. Corns are not light. It's pretty heavy when you buy 6 corn. So if Sobe is just around the corner and No Frills, you have to you have to take the car. You might as well just buy 2 from Sobeys. Another reason.
You only have $3?
You only have $3. Yeah, you can't go to No Frills and say, "Here's $3. Can I buy 2.5 corn?" They'll look at you and like, "No."
Then you buy their stock. Hope it goes up.
Alright, what another reason, a big reason why people go to Sobeys instead of No Frills. Steven.
Maybe they think No Frills is the worst quality or something.
Quality, that's right. Okay, this one from No Frills.
All my clothes
It's turning brown. It's drying up. Yeah, so quality is also another thing too. Okay. It just turned it brown. These are not mole. Okay, and if you think about it, it's only 20 cents different for a corn. Alright, so if you only want 2, it's not a big difference to go with that. Alright, so all this that we talked about right here, you could see it on the test as communication questions. Can you get it wrong on a test for your opinion?
No.
No, it's your opinion. I can't say no, you're wrong. No Frills or Sobeys wherever. Okay, so if it's an opinion question on the test, it's like 3 marks. Okay, so you better answer it. You better not skip it. It's your opinion. The only way that you can get an opinion question wrong is if you say Sobe because it's cheaper. Okay, then you'll get it wrong. Okay, so as long as your reasoning is good, it's 3 marks. All right, any question on today's lesson? You do have 40 minutes to do 9 pages.
Oh my god.
You can do it. Okay. I'll see how you guys go. If I'll decide again at the end of class. Okay. If you guys are working hard, then I'll see. Okay. So if you guys are not wasting class time, I might cut it down a bit. Otherwise, up to homework is page 9. All right. And I will upload this video on on YouTube. So if those who need the refresher later, you can watch the video.